Okay, time for the news. FluxReversal.com for all my links and socials. This is Flux Reversal's video game industry news chat and react show, which happens once a week live on Kick Saturdays. So sometime during the day Saturdays, my new show will start. I live stream it only on Kick. That's how you get the live version. I also post a short form to TikTok. And at the end of the live stream, I edit down the long form that gets posted to YouTube. So if you can't watch the live version, you can catch the condensed version on TikTok, which is already live and always goes live before the show. Or you can just catch the recording that's about no longer than 30 to 45 minutes if you want to see how I react to some of these news events. The short version is more just no nonsense, simply facts, while the long form is more of a reactionary, opinionated piece. One person trying to cover the news is a very, very hard thing to do. And I've been following video gaming industry news for a very, very long time, and I originally did it because I was trying to get the inside track on early access games because I wanted to get access to games. I wanted to help test games. Like, I think the last game that I really was a try-hard tester in was New World. I was a closed alpha tester for New World. I tested it extensively. I had great input on the game, but what I learned from testing games and having input at that level is when you're donating your time, some of these communities will be infiltrated by what I call goons. They're like trolls, but worse. They present themselves like they have good intentions, like they support the project, like they're actually behind it, but they're not. You got to read between the lines with these guys, and it's in their actions and the way they behave and the things they do. Yeah. And that's really what happened with New World. I'm not getting into details, but a fucking pack of goddamn motherfucking goons fucked it up. Otherwise, it could have been the best game in the world. It really had potential to do that. Imagine if New World looked like New World, felt like New World, but it was fucking Rust. Huh? Yeah? Yeah? What's up? That's what it was supposed to be. New World was going to be the next Rust. That's why I was so interested in playtesting the game, and I got so involved in it. And as through the development cycle, and they decide, no, we're not going to have this full world open loot, kill on sight, whatever type of mentality like Rust. And the whole argument is that it tracks toxic mentality. It's like, oh, bullshit. It's just gamers, period. Making something out of nothing. I can even use that specific example as an example of what they were complaining about. Anyways, I'm not gonna, I really, you're delayed, buddy. So that's the reason why I started following the news. And I watched a news show on the YouTube called The Know. Anybody remember The Know? The Know was a great source of news. It was very entertaining. It covered everything, but they got shut down by Electronic Arts legally. Whole nother story. So after that, there was really no place. While there are places and institutions that try to cover the news, it's hard to get unbiased news. It's hard to find stuff that's not a marketing article or a paid article. Because some of these huge development teams and huge companies have a marketing department, and their job is to make sure that there's a cute little article about their game out there. And their Call of Duty, Activision does this. Rockstar does this. CD Projekt Red does this. They do this a lot. There's just Nintendo does fucking Pokemon, Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, Roblox. This is the shit that I see mostly in the feed, just fucking nonstop, and it's just fucking crap. And that's the shit I got to filter through. So I have all these different news sources from reliable, reputable places, and I need to really expand it and filter out some other ones because I believe some of the places that I normally follow have consolidated under one corporate umbrella a few years back. I just haven't taken the time to really filter through them. But anyways, so I'm not like following these companies directly. If I was one person, there's no way I could follow each company individually, each development team, each game, bro. So what I do is I legitimize stories and articles by seeing who's posting the article and how many versions are going. Because if it's a big story, everybody's going to be talking about it. everybody's going to be talking about it, right? That makes it more legitimate. And it's from those articles that I'll take information. And sometimes I'll go directly to the main source. But what I really like about the articles is some of the opinions and bias that these outlets place on them and spin they put on it, right? I like, get other people's feelings. So from that, by the time you hear it from me, it's third-party news, right? But it's still news. You're not going to hear about all this stuff in one spot like you will hear on the Flux Reversals news show, video game industry news show. You won't hear it anywhere. Not like this. So if you're a consumer and you're a video gamer, there's a lot of shit that goes unnoticed every day in the video games industry that you motherfuckers need to be aware of. And it really may impact your financial decisions on the games that you buy. I mean, it's disgusting. And this has been a trend for a while. This isn't anything new. You'll hear, we're going to get into it later. I'll save that bit. So what I show you is the articles where I get this information from to let you know this is a legitimate article. This is legitimate news. And I show you all the different people and institutions that are talking about it. So it's just not me. So you're like, where's your source? Where's your source? And I say that because I, as a news person, broke news recently. Just this past week, this past Thursday, I broke some original news. And the first thing they want you to do is provide info. I'm like, this is red hot off the press. This just happened. I am the source. If you want to validate me, you got to go here and read through all of this and come to your own conclusion and see if my summary matches that conclusion. I said, because I am the source right now. Yeah. 5,000 views later on Reddit. 5,000 views later on Reddit. The damage was done. Shit was locked tight like the song. Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about that news here today. I could. I'm drinking right now. I may. So let's get into the news. The video game industry news. As I said, I save articles and I do a little bit of research. We are going to talk about layoffs and closures first. Layoffs and closures. New AAA games could cost $300 million or much more. This is a opinion piece from Games Radar. 4 Nacon subsidiaries file for insolvency. These are French companies, so they have to make a whole legal precedent before they go to the next stage. And they have to make a public notification also. I think it's part of the process. So every time someone does this in France, you'll see this, definitely. You'll never see this shit happen from Japan, bro. I'm just saying. Ubisoft Studio was working on 10 games before being hit with mass layoffs. So this is all last week. This is all stuff starting from... All my news is from Monday the 23rd until now. It was supposed to be... The news show was supposed to be yesterday, so a little bit delayed here. But I've already done my homework and research, so we're going to fucking do it. After leaving Respawn to work on High Guard, a former Apex Legend developer has been rehired by EA when he went back to make Apex Legends. This is the guy who was bragging about. Yeah. That's not all, though. We got more. Sony strikes again. PlayStation is officially shutting down another first-party studio. PlayStation reportedly shuttering another first-party studio, this time from Call of Duty vet Jason Blundell. PlayStation reportedly closes another first-party, laying off 50 developers. Sony closes first-party studio Dark Outlaw Games. That's Jason Blundell's studio. Hang on, we're building something up here. PlayStation reportedly shuts down another first-party studio. Yeah. Why the fuck do you take the time to approach these individuals, offer them money to come under your umbrella just so you can get their product, and then you fucking shit on them? I mean, as an independent developer looking for a steady paycheck, I bet they're like, yeah, we're not done yet. MetaQuest usage reaches an all-time high. Despite that, they still laying off. Over 100 titles generated more than $1 million in gross revenue, while in-app purchase sales grew by over 10%. Meta sends more mixed signals about its future in VR. Layoffs at Reality Labs. Meta reportedly lays off 700 workers. Reality Labs division affected. We're not done. We're not done. There's 2 articles about the same interview. Apparently, this married couple have been working in the video gaming industry since the 80s. And I think I've seen these guys before. John and Brenda Romero think our current video game industry crash is even crashier than the infamous of the 1980s. Oh, wait. We are not done. We are not done. Here is 18 motherfucking articles about Fortnite. Fortnite, 18 articles. 1,000 fucking people. Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite, have fucking laid off 1,000 people. 1,000 people. Bro, what, you gotta buy another yacht, motherfucker? What? 1,000 people. Former Half-Life 2 writer calls out Epic CEO Tim Sweeney over layoffs, says Valve boss Gabe is better. It turns out Fortnite isn't forever game after all. Fortnite is officially shutting down 3 game modes. Fortnite producer says Epic's mass layoffs will impact the game in ways. Also, they're shutting down game modes, several game modes. So the CEO of Fortnite from Epic did say that all these people were firing. We're not firing because they suck at their jobs. There's a lot of very highly talented people we just lost. He's trying to make it sound like it's a big loss. And maybe you don't know about his position. He's got corporate financiers and stockholders to answer to. He's a CEO of a corporation. As a CEO of a corporation, your priority is stockholders. It's not your customers, because your stockholders are your customers. Not the people buying your products. Not your customers. Not the people working for you. Those aren't your priority either. It's your fucking stockholders and your share price. That becomes your priority. And when that becomes your priority, are you even an artist at that point? So we got a whole picture painted here. The video game industry, undergoing this systemic collapse. We got these projects from Nacon and Ubisoft being shut down. 700 people at Reality Labs under Meta. Let me point out some things here. Let's point out successful indie developers like Facepunch. They never fire people. Valve never lays off people, ever. These motherfuckers aren't corporations. These entities enjoy the art and the passion of making fucking video games, and their product becomes first. And when you make quality product and you cater to your customers, the source of your goddamn motherfucking revenue, instead of your fucking goddamn shareholders, because by comparison, oh my God, let me get you started. That's why indie developers don't lay off. They do, but not as near as much. Real independent developers, real passion projects, real artists. All right, here's 3 articles, similar articles covering similar topics. Rock, paper, shotgun. A decline of unprecedented scale and speed is hitting the UK Game Development Trade Association report finds. TIGA, the trade association. UK games dev sector faces most severe downturn on record. Total workforce fell from 28.5 thousand in 2024 to 27.3 in September 2025. Meanwhile, over in Germany, they're up. Germany's up. what you don't realize about Germany is a big chunk of fucking the EU. It's not a small European country. It's a very, very large geographical area with a very densely populated populace.
A densely populated populace, he said.
Yeah, so the Germans market rose 4%, while over in the rest of Europe, it's... And I say UK. UK is in the rest of Europe. But we can see in France how Nacon laying off people. Nacon's a French company. So right there in France and UK, across the water. Of course, this news is a year late because, it takes a while for them to digest and process the data. So it kind of paints a contradictory picture, I guess. I guess a European industry where traditional software development is struggling to stabilize, technically. Even as hardware-driven product, because this 4% right here they were talking about is basically from devices. The Switch 2. The Switch 2 was a big one they talked about when they went to the details. As you can see the picture of it. That's going on in Europe and Germany. Oh, here you go. So we know this. We've been talking about the whole huge corporate server farms gearing their products to be in AI servers for AI processing. And so there's been this rush for RAM and then it was storage. Well, what's next? CPUs. That's right. The three major components you need for your PC if you're a hobbyist are the CPU, the RAM, and the graphics card. The motherboard is a pretty big deal too, but the motherboard's components don't rely on the type of components that similar, but not to the degree that CPUs, RAM, and storage does. When I say storage today is basically like RAM. It's not like a mechanical hard drive, but mechanical hard drive prices, as we talked about in my new shows, has gone up too as a result because people are turning back towards them. They're like, yeah, I really don't need that 1 terabyte SSD. I'll just go get this fucking hard drive, bro. I don't really need that M.2 NVMe drive on my... it generates too much heat anyways. I don't need that. I'll just go back to a mechanical hard drive. I miss when upgrading your gaming PC felt exciting instead of financially stupid. First came Ramageddon and storage inflation. Now a CPU shortage could be on the cards. Well, it actually still it is. It's happening. Your wallet is not ready for Asus new prices. So together, these articles. So basically, this article talks about Asus. They're up in their baseline product. They're like, this is where our base product price point used to be. Well, it's going to be way up here now, like around close to what their premium prices were. Yeah, they shifted their whole scale, and everybody else is going to follow suit because it is Asus, Pegasus, Asus, however the fuck you want to say it. We know this. So the point of all these articles is if you're a hobbyist, it's a financial obligation now, and kind of being a hobbyist is stupid unless you're just going to go ahead and be like all fuck it mode, because you'll end up having to settle for some mid-tier shit and then you might as well not buy it. I guess the industry is going to go to, if you're a hobbyist, you may be buying a new computer every fucking 10 years now, bro. It may not be every 3 years, maybe every 10 years. It's like buying a fucking new car. It's funny because you can value your PC like, I've got a $6,000 PC. Yeah, you're basing those prices on the highest rate of the high-end components for your computer. Meanwhile, you got the budget shit in your PC. I can prove I got a $6,000 PC and you add up all these fancy components. Yeah, bro, but you got low budget ends. Have you ever done that? You really spent that much? No, dog. Not even. Yeah, so the days of budget building PCs are not in the cards right now. Not in the cards right now. Oh, did you see this? You've seen the memes about having PGD. Hey, bro's got PGD. You know PGD, right? You ever heard about it? Well, it's a real thing. Post-game depression. post-game depression is a real thing. So these are 3 different articles, 2 from Game Rant, 1 from IGN, talking about this one specific study. No one else really picked up on it. I figured like GameIndustry.biz would pick up on it, but they didn't. New scientist study concludes post-game depression is real. And it's RPGs that have the biggest effect on us. That's right, you single-player story motherfuckers. Beating video games can make you depressed. That's kind of an overstatement, Game Rant. Why RPGs are more likely to trigger post-game depression. So these scientific studies he talk about was published in Current Psychology by researchers from SWPS University and the Stefan Batory Academy of Applied Sciences. All right. And they basically broken it down into these 3 measurable areas. This article says. So at the end of the game, there is a measurable emotional state involving ruminations, something called media anhedonia, and what they described as a difficult end of experience, like when you end a relationship with someone, or the grief you feel from when someone that you're close to dies. You know, that's the type of psychological effect these really immersive story games have. And they said that's because of how involved and how committed these people get involved in these immersive stories. You know, they really get into it. So when it's over, they try to recapture by going back and playing it again, or immediately going to another one. Yes. You got some very well written story based games out there. Good job, video game industry, causing people giving PGD. Hey, you guys want to see 55 articles of the same thing? You want to see 55 articles of the same goddamn thing looks like? Oh my God. I mean, there's 55 articles. Should I click on every one of them? As I said, these articles are from Monday until Friday evening. So all of these articles span the expanse of last week. From Game Informer, GameIndustry.biz, Digital Trends, Eurogamer, IGN, Game Rant, Game Radar. Oh, Game Radar. I don't know what Game Radar got going on, but there's like a gazillion fucking Game Radar articles about Crimson Desert. Pearl Abyss's game, Crimson Desert. Now, we talked about Crimson Desert a little bit last week, or my last news show last Saturday. And we talked about how the stock price of Pearl Abyss dipped 30%. And I was like, fucking why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It sure doesn't, because it went right back up. So if you are a speculator, you thought that dip was going to reverse right away, it did. That motherfucker bounced. And it bounced back strong. Pearl Abyss is very proud of it. Crimson Desert checking all the marks, everybody. Crimson Desert. But $70 for the game, you know. So Pearl Abyss has successfully navigated, you know, their supposedly volatile launch. You know, they had the whole AI art controversy, which they addressed and said they're going to fix. They had some hardware issues, especially with the Intel Arc GPUs. They had to fix that, and they did right away. They had some controller issues and unfamiliarity with the controllers and stuff, and they fixed all that. And so the reviews on Steam have just turned around. Crimson Desert apologizes for using AI art. Crimson Desert devs Pearl Abyss takes a first stab at control improvements. If I want to be the most OP motherfucker ever, why try to hinder me? It turns out that Flying a Dragon, and there's a lot of people complaints about the cooldown and usage limit of specific type of mounts and some mounts. Just mounts in general, the mechanic, but specifically on dragons, you can only use it like once every 50 minutes, and you can only use it for 15 minutes at a time. So yeah, but overall, overwhelmingly positive reviews. Why Crimson Desert's Steam rating keeps climbing, and the climb may not be over yet. So hands off, Crimson Desert. Pearl Abyss been working on this motherfucker a long time. If you ever played Black Desert Online, that's Pearl Abyss. I thought they were an indie company. I didn't know they were a publicly traded company. But yeah. And when you see 55 goddamn articles, 55 fucking articles, they had to have been doing something right. They did something right. 55 articles. All right. What else in the news from the past week? Marathon still out there. Most North Americans and Europeans don't understand the frustrating feeling of waiting 10 minutes to find a match. Bungie steps in to help Marathon players from isolated geographical regions and their long wait times. Bungie is watching and ingesting your feedback about Marathon's cryo archive and looking at solutions. Yeah. Game Informer's Marathon review. Marathon sells 1.2 million copies across all platforms. I'm in a situationship with Marathon's worst gun, and after 80 hours, I'm not letting the meta break us. Good for you. Good for you. Things are looking lukewarm right now. Marathon has reportedly sold just 1.2 million so far, but 70% of its player base is Steam. While they're a multi-platform game, PS5 and Xbox, 70% of people are on Steam. PC players. Marathon may have sold 1.2 copies worldwide, but yep, same thing. Bungie is shifting Marathon's in-game content around so you won't have to pick between ranked or cryo archive. So they've heard your complaints. They're making the adjustments so you have to go in with the fucking sweaties. All right, guys? Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire 2 devs walk back the nerf that sparked 10,000 negative Steam reviews and shovel buffs at the Regent after fans determined he's the worst class by a mile. Slay the Spire is doing well. It low-key was the most selling game. It was competing with the big boy, still is. A lot of people playing it. You know, so I guess it can be said they've achieved massive financial success. You know, reported by, you know, because they're out earning, you know, other titles like, what was it? One of these articles said Hades, I think. And Hades 2, maybe. And Hollow Knight Silk Song. And that was in the first week. That was just in the first week. Of course, you didn't hear much news about it because other games were coming out. I think Marathon and what else had dropped the same week. But still, despite all the hype from these other games, his marketing department, Slay the Spire 2 still was hitting the mark. So apparently there's a thriving modding scene, one of these articles talks about, and the developers recently navigated a major controversy by rolling back prepared card nerf that triggered over 10,000 negative reviews, like we were just saying. So I don't play it, but one of the classes you can play is the Regent class. So if I come in sounding like unfamiliar with the game because I don't play Slay the Spire, but I follow the news, and when it's all over the news, I gotta feel obligated to bring it to people's attention. Oh, Dead by Daylight developer Behavior Interactive has bought 7 Days to Die developer. They said they're trying to. There's just one article about it, GameIndustry.biz. They said they're basically just trying to make it their thing, like horror scare games their thing. And so they feel like by acquiring this other popular game from the same genre, they can start build a better resume and look like a more serious company and probably attract better talent, because there's a lot of talent out there to be looking for jobs. So Dead by Daylight maker Behavior has bought the studio behind 7 Days to Die to create a portfolio of horror IP. It's only one Only one article about that. Yeah. And this talks about how they're hoping to leverage their experience in the industry and the genre. The Fun Pimps. Yeah, I was trying to remember. The Fun Pimps. Yeah, so the Fun Pimps is who got bought out, and along with that, they got 7 Days to Die. Here we go. Roblox insists plans to start charging creators for brand integration. It's not about revenue at all. It's about evolving our responsibility to our users, creators, and brands. So VP Stephanie Latham maintains that the company's 2027 plan to charge creators for brand integrations is a strategic move to standardize safety, global compliance, and ad measurement rather than a revenue-driven initiative, which is, we all know, is bullshit, right? Despite these claims, the policy shift, which follows anonymous reports of executive meetings with stakeholders, has sparked concerns regarding antitrust issues and the future of independent licensing deals between developers and artists on the platform. Because we know one of the reasons why so many people play Roblox and why it's so popular is because people are only there to make fucking money, and it's easy to make money, and they've tapped into how easy it is. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Did anybody play the Windrose demo? Remember? Everybody remembers the Windrose demo and how great it was? So Windrose is generating significant anticipation, which this article from GameSrant covers, because it has surpassed 1 million wish list follows. You know, this is the result of the Steam Next Fest. That's where it was. It was the demo released. The playable demo was actually a little bit before the Steam Next Fest, but it went all through the Steam Next Fest because I played it, the whole thing completely, and then went back and played it more. You know, so we saw that the game blends traditional survival crafting with Souls-light combat and co-op naval exploration, positioning it as a very polished indie contender. Definitely better than Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones wasn't that good. It looked good. It looked like it was supposed to be good. It feels like it should have been good, but it just didn't hit the mark. At all. At all. Okay. Stop Killing Games initiative, still in the news from Eurogamer. Advocates from the Stop Killing Games initiative, including YouTubers Ross Scott and Josh Strife Hayes, met with European Parliament members, as this article points out, to push for new consumer protection laws that would require publishers like Ubisoft to keep games playable after official server shutdowns. The movement reframes the loss of titles like The Crew, the racing game, and for some reason they brought up High Guard, as bipartisan consumer rights. This is your right. So maybe we'll see see if it overcomes political knowledge barriers of what's going on, because it seems like the article was trying to say that maybe it's not hitting all the right notes with policymakers because maybe they don't really understand what's going on that well. So they went there to make a better articulated presentation of the situation. Bulkhead CEO Joe Brammer, they wouldn't look at any game that was way less than 50 million. Why Tencent's all-in strategy didn't suit Bulkhead. So Joe Brammer explains how the studio separated from high-tech giant Tencent because the parent company, Tencent, demand for all-in AAA budgets of at least 50 million stifled the developers' desire to focus on smaller community-driven projects. Now operating independently with support from Team 17 and Hero Capital, the studio is kind of recalibrated its definition of success through their upcoming launch of its tactical shooter War Dogs. So we kept on hearing this lately. It's about one story a week. We hear about some developer, a small indie. They're like, no, we like being indie. We like the reputation of being indie. We don't like your requirements for your fucking money. We probably wouldn't be able to pay the bills anyways, because it looks like that's these corporate requirements on some of these indie developments partnering with these financiers really is what kills the problem and kills them and makes them close down. or they're just mismanaging their budget. High guard. Here's a great story. Getting close to the end of the news show here. Getting right through it. Mojang partners with Merlin Entertainment to develop Minecraft World. That's right. A fucking theme park, bro. Maybe they can build one here in fucking Houston where the old Astroworld used to be. So this is from GameIndustry.biz, a very reliable outlet. They talk about, how they're developing Minecraft World, a $67 billion immersive theme park land set to debut at Chessington World of Adventures in 2027. This collaboration aims to expand the game's universe into the physical world through Minecraft themed rides, attractions, and retail experiences designed for fans and families. Retail experiences. This is it. Last story of the day. This is going to warm your heart, all you sim racers. This motherfucker is a goddamn truck driver for a living and just can't seem to get enough of driving because truck driver replaces passenger seat with 6,000 sim driving rig, uses it to kill time while stuck in traffic. What do you just fucking hop seats? This is from Games Radar. So Reddit user and truck driver Zena Zamora went viral for replacing their semi-truck's passenger seat with a $6,000 high-end sim racing rig, using it to play racing games during long rest periods and even a standstill in traffic jams, they claim. The article highlights how, the driver uses the custom setup, which includes an RTX 5080 powered PC and a flight sim gear to decompress from real world driving by engaging in his virtual counterpart. Well, if you drive, maybe he's playing iRacing. Is he playing iRacing? Is he a hardcore iRacer? So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We got through the news pretty fast there.